Welcome to SwiftFaith Animation, where faith comes alive through inspiring animated stories and life-transforming biblical messages. Discover stories of hope, redemption, and God's love that strengthen your faith and inspire purposeful living. Subscribe and join our growing community.
In a quiet Christian home filled with love, sacrifices, and daily prayers, Mr. and Mrs. Williams devoted their hearts to raising their two daughters. Though they shared the same roof, the sisters were as different as sunshine and shadow.
Hannah carried kindness wherever she went. Her heart was gentle, her words were loving, and her spirit was quick to forgive. Joy, however, struggled with bitterness and envy. She allowed jealousy to grow where love should have blossomed.
Yet, beyond the walls of their humble home, a greater story was unfolding. A story of choices and consequences, of tears and redemption, and of a love powerful enough to heal even the deepest wounds.
This is the story of a father's sacrifice. A story of a mother's unyielding resilience. A story of a daughter who mistook love's deepest concern for hatred. A story of a daughter who looked upon sacrifice and called it devotion.
This is the story of the sister who chose love.
Let's dive in.
Liz, are you absolutely certain you'll be all right? I can call the cement site. Tell them I'll be an hour late. The pouring hasn't started yet.
No, my dear. Don't you dare do such a thing. You cannot afford to run late today, please. I will be perfectly fine.
Are you sure, Liz? You haven't been able to stand up straight since you woke up. Don't play the hero with me. What exactly are you feeling right now?
It's just that same sharp, piercing pain right at the base of my spine. Every time I try to shift my weight, it shoots all the way down my right leg like a hot wire. Sometimes, it leaves me completely breathless.
Good Lord. Lizzie, that is not something you ignore.
I know, my love. But I'll be fine. Really, it's nothing to worry about. In fact, I feel much better than I did yesterday.
But you said the same thing yesterday.
Yet, I survived. Come on, darling. You worry too much. God is in absolute control. I'll be up and running again before you know it.
But this isn't just fatigue, Lizzie. It sounds like a nerve issue. You must make out time to see a doctor soon for a proper diagnosis. We need to know exactly what's wrong before it becomes something more serious. Promise me, my love. No excuses.
All right. I'll call the clinic. But truly, do not worry yourself to death at the site today. All right?
Okay. Even so, I still think you should get plenty of rest.
Sure, I will. Besides, Hannah is right here in the house today. She won't even allow me to lift a finger. Thank goodness it's a public holiday.
Oh, that's lovely.
Hannah. That girl worries about everyone except herself. She woke up before dawn today again. I found her cleaning the kitchen, washing the dishes, and now preparing breakfast for everyone. Meanwhile, her sister is still inside that room, fast asleep.
That's Hannah. Always thinking of others. She's indeed an amazing child.
She really is. I thank God every day for that girl. Sometimes I wonder what we did to deserve a child like Hannah. She is an absolute angel to us. Our pillar of strength. A rare, beautiful blessing straight from God. Just yesterday, I begged her to leave the dishes until evening, but she completely refused. Instead, she just smiled and said,
Leave me alone, Mom. You don't have to worry about me. Your only job right now is to get well.
"Can you believe what your daughter said to me?"
Oh, really? What did you expect? She's her mother's daughter, isn't she?
"Oh, please. Don't pin it on me. That's just classic Hannah." And then there is Joy. Same parents. Same home. The exact same upbringing. Yet the difference between our two girls is like daylight and darkness. We've tried talking to her, advising her, correcting her. But absolutely nothing reaches her heart. I just wish, even for once, Joy would learn a thing or two from her sister.
Honestly, I just don't know where we went wrong with that girl. Every day, she becomes more distant, more defiant, and more resistant to anything we say. I'm afraid that if something doesn't change soon, we may completely lose her. The stubbornness inside her heart is growing like cancer. And Lizzie, it's frightening.
The stubbornness I can tolerate. But the hatred? The resentment? The raw bitterness? It is deeply unsettling. She spits this toxic jealousy at her own sister, looking at her like she wants to burn her alive. All she does is eat, sleep, and sneak out to hang out with those useless friends of hers. She looks at this family like we are her enemies. I pray for her every single day, but my heart is just too heavy. I honestly don't know what to do with her anymore.
Be easy on yourself, my love. Joy will find her way. We just have to keep guiding her gently, pouring in all the patience and affection she needs.
Well, I certainly hope so.
She will. I'm sure of it. Sweetheart, I don't want to run late. It breaks my heart to leave you while you're feeling unwell, but I really have to run. If I spend another minute here, my phone will be completely flooded with calls. Please, look after yourself while I am away. Make sure you take your medication on time, and rest well. I promise I'll hurry back to you as soon as I can.
Go on then, my love. Work safely. Go and secure the bread for us. But please, always keep your hard hat on, at the side.
Definitely. All the time. Goodbye, my love.
Bye, my husband. Drive safely, and may God be with you always.
Mom. Why are you out of the bed already? You know you should be resting more.
Resting? How could I possibly rest when the aroma of this food has been traveling through the entire house? I could smell it all the way from the living room.
Mom.
Whatever you are cooking should come with a warning. In fact, I'm beginning to suspect you cooked it on purpose just to lure me out here.
A warning.
Yes. A warning that hungry people may suddenly appear in this kitchen.
Ah, so that's why you're here.
Exactly. My dear, your food smells wonderful.
Oh, stop already, Mom. You're totally making me blush. Anyway. Thanks.
No, Hannah. I'm serious. You have really improved over the years.
Maybe. But that's only because I learned from the best.
Really? Well, I'm certainly not going to ask who that might be.
Oh, I think you can guess. You see her every time you look in the mirror.
All right, young lady. Cut it out, and come sit with me for a bit.
Sit with you? Nice try, Mom. You know I have to finish up here real quick so you can have your breakfast and medication exactly on time.
I know, sweetheart. It will only take a minute. Besides, we didn't get to talk at all yesterday because you were out running errands for your dad. Don't tell me you haven't missed talking to your mother at all.
Oh, wow. Pulling out the maternal guilt card at 8 in the morning? Truly iconic. Of course I miss you, Mom. But Mom, if your medication is late, Dad will look at me like I committed a federal crime. Let me finish this, and then I'll give you a full hour of my undivided attention.
Come on, Hannah. Don't make me beg for a chat with my own daughter. Come. Let's sit over there. I'm already starting to feel that sharp pain just standing here.
All right, Mom. 2 minutes. That's all you got.
Fine. 2 minutes it is. Hannah. I may not say this often enough, but every day, I thank God for blessing me with you. Your kindness, maturity, and unwavering love have always been a source of joy to me. But especially during this difficult season of my illness, your support has meant more than words can ever express. You have stood by me with patience, compassion, and selfless devotion, caring for me without complaint and constantly reminding me that I am not facing this battle alone.
Mom, you've got to stop.
Your sacrifices, your encouragement, and your willingness to put my needs, and the needs of this house, before your own have touched my heart in ways you may never fully understand. I want you to know that I see everything you've done, and I appreciate every single effort. Thank you for being such a remarkable child. Your love and support mean the world to me, and I will always be grateful to have you in my life.
Come on, Mom. You really don't have to say all that.
Why not? It's the truth.
Well, thank you, Mom. But Mom, don't thank me as though I've done something extraordinary. The truth is, I can never do enough to repay everything you've done for me since the day I was born. Everything I am today is because of you and Dad. You have raised us with love, taught us right from wrong, and shown us what it means to care for others. You carried me before I could even breathe on my own. You stayed awake countless nights whenever I was sick. You went hungry so I could eat, denied yourself so I could have the things I needed, and stood by me through every stage of my life.
Hannah. Come on. You are my child.
Every lesson you've taught me, every prayer you've prayed over me, every sacrifice you've made, they've all shaped me into the person I am today. Mom, if I have become a good daughter, it's only because I had good parents and a good upbringing. So if I spend a few days, a few months, or even years taking care of you, it will never equal the lifetime of love you've poured into me. Not even close. You are my mother, Mom. Looking after you isn't a burden, it's a privilege. If our roles were reversed, I know, without a moment's doubt, you would do the same for me, and even more. Please don't ever think you've become a burden to me. As long as God gives me strength, I'll be here beside you, holding your hand through every doctor's visit, every painful night, and every difficult moment until you're strong again.
You have grown into a wonderful young woman, Hannah. The way you always put this family first make me very proud. I honestly don't know what I would do without you.
You really have to stop, Mom. You're already making me feel like a saint.
You may not be a saint, my child. But you are definitely close.
Mom.
I only wish your sister can learn from you. That girl can begin an argument with an empty room and somehow win.
Don't worry too much, Mom. Joy will change. She's still young and naive. Deep down, she's a good person. She just needs time to grow.
Everybody keeps saying she is young. Hannah, you are only 2 years older than your sister. Even before you were her age, you were already shouldering the responsibilities of this family. Sometimes, it's hard to believe that the two of you were raised under the same roof.
I did what I had to do, Mom. Joy is different, that's all. She needs a little more time.
You always defend her, Hannah. You always have. I just fear that by the time you're done waiting on her, she'll be too far gone for anyone to handle.
That will not happen. We won't let it. It's all right, Mom. I'll talk to her. I believe, someday, she will realize the value of stepping up and being responsible.
And when you do, tell I need help with my laundry.
All right, Mom. I will. Anyway, I'm glad you came around to see how I'm doing in the kitchen. But now, I have to continue with the cooking. And once breakfast is ready, you'll eat, take your medication, and rest. That's the plan. Right?
Yes, ma'am. I will do exactly as the nurse instructed.
Good. Now, off to your room before I have to escort you there myself.
Hannah. What's the problem, Hannah? Can't someone get some decent sleep on a holiday anymore?
Joy. Please, get up. It's past 10 in the morning. I've swept the entire yard, scrubbed the kitchen, and finished cooking. You cannot sleep away the whole day.
Is that why you ran into my room like a masquerade was chasing you? Hannah, it's a public holiday. Does this house ever actually shut down? Besides, nobody asked you to do all that.
No, Joy. The house doesn't shut down just because it's a public holiday. Hunger doesn't take a holiday, dirty dishes don't wash themselves, and Mom's illness doesn't pause for the calendar. I only wish you cared enough to notice that. And you're right. Nobody asked me. I chose to help because I can see what Mom and Dad are going through. While you're busy complaining, someone has to make sure this family doesn't fall apart. If you don't want to help, that's your choice, but don't mock the people who do.
Hannah, if you want to be a housewife in training, that's your business. Spend all your time in the kitchen, washing plates, cooking meals, and running around like a desperate little maid, trying to impress everyone. That's your choice, not mine.
Joy? What are you saying?
I'm saying you should stop disturbing my sleep. Please, leave my room this minute.
Well, I can't do that, Joy. Mom is complaining bitterly about your attitude. She's constantly worried about you. The other day, she was even crying, wondering where she went wrong with you. You know how emotional she can get. Joy. Your attitude is getting worse every day. Are you really not seeing how this is affecting Mom?
Oh, please. Mom always finds a reason to complain about me. Because I don't follow you around like a shadow. Because I choose to enjoy my youth. I'm tired of the emotional blackmail in this house.
It is not blackmail, Joy. It's the truth. Look at you. You live here like a guest in a hotel. You eat, sleep, mess up the place, and expect everyone else to clean up, while you leave the house to hang out with friends.
You think you are perfect, right? You think waking me up and lecturing me makes you a better person. You are just bitter because I choose to have a life and you don't.
Believe me, Joy. If this is how you define life, you are on a path to ruining yourself. Listen, Joy. Mom is really unwell. Her spine and joints are aching badly, and she can barely stand. She needs help with her laundry. I'm asking you, please, just do Mom's laundry today. It's the least you can do to show you care.
I'm doing no such thing, Hannah. My friends are waiting for me at the mall as we speak. Yes, Hannah. We planned this hangout a week ago, and I can't miss it for anything. I am not staying back to wash dirty clothes on the holiday.
Your friends? Joy? Your mother is sick in the next room, and your priority is to go out and laugh with friends? Joy. Are you listening to yourself right now? Please, have a conscience.
Move out of my way, Hannah. I am leaving right now, and nothing you say or do will stop me. You can do the laundry yourself since you love chores so much. Some of us actually have bigger dreams than becoming everyone's unpaid maid.
What? Joy?
Hannah, please. Stop acting like you're my mother's replacement and quit trying to boss me around. Get out of my room right now. And next time, mind your own business instead of trying to run my life.
Just few seconds after, Joy grabbed her handbag, stuffed her phone inside, and stormed out of the room, slamming the front door so hard that the windows rattled.
Hannah stood alone in the quiet room, the echo of the slamming door ringing in her ears. She could barely lift her feet. It was like grief had poured into them. Her arms throbbed from the hours of scrubbing she had already done.
She walked into her mother's room and saw her resting on the bed, her weary face softened by sleep. In the corner of the room sat a large basket overflowing with sheets, blankets, and clothes waiting to be washed.
For a moment, Hannah stood still. Only a minute earlier, Joy's harsh words had pierced her heart. She had tried to help, tried to reason with her sister, yet all she received in return was insult, bitterness and rejection. The pain lingered like a wound she could not hide. Tears gathered in her eyes as she looked at the huge basket. Her mother was unwell. The work needed to be done.
Without saying a word, Hannah bent down, wrapped her arm around the heavy basket, and lifted it. The weight strained her body, but it was nothing compared to the heaviness she felt inside. With trembling steps, she carried it back to her room. She was too hurt to begin the washing. She simply placed the basket down and sat beside it, wiping away silent tears.
A few moments later, Elizabeth, having sensed her daughter's presence, made her way to her room. She found Hannah sitting alone, her eyes red and her shoulders slumped. A mother's heart needed no explanation.
Gently, Elizabeth sat beside her and pulled her into a warm embrace.
My dear Hannah,
she whispered, stroking her hair.
Kind hearts are often wounded, but never let her change who you are.
At those words, Hannah broke down completely, resting her head on her mother's shoulder. And in that quiet room, surrounded by unwashed clothes and unspoken pain, Joy's insult lost its sting, and replaced by the soothing anchor of a mother's unconditional love.
Several minutes later, Hannah stood over many buckets of water behind the house. Her arms still arched, her back hurt, and her feet felt heavy from hours of work.
Yet, she continued scrubbing her mother's clothes, one after another. And as soapy bubbles danced across the water, Blending with her tears, a silent prayer left her heart.
Lord, I lift Joy into your loving hands. Please guide her back to the path of truth, wisdom, and righteousness. Heal every wound that has hardened her heart, forgive the hurtful words she has spoken, and replace her anger with your peace. Fill her with your love, and draw her closer to you, each day. And Father, grant me the grace to keep loving her with the same unconditional, patient, and forgiving love you have shown me. Help me never to repay hurt with hurt, but to remain a reflection of your mercy, trusting that you are able to transform every heart in your perfect time. Amen.
Though exhausted, Hannah continued washing. For her, love was not measured by convenience.
It was measured by kindness, forgiveness, and sacrifice. And even when her kindness went unnoticed, she chose to keep loving anyway.
This is the story of the sister who chose love. Tune into the concluding part of episode 1 of this powerful family drama to see how the story unfolds as the intensity deepens.
We will see you in the next video.